Hi everyone, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Abhilasha and I'm taking you through vocabulary for IPMAT and JIPMAT 2027. These sessions are for your preparation and they're all free for you. So you make sure that you're joining in every week, same time, same place, Mondays, right? For VRC. Today we are covering word formation and derivatives. So we will talk about a little bit about etymology, some root words, how to put words together, how to break them apart, and we will learn from this. See, for vocabulary, there cannot be a one size fit all solution. So if you were to say that there is one solution which will fit for every word, no. So therefore, we have to use a combination of preparation techniques. So some words we simply learn, the words that have good, easily identifiable root words, we learn those. So different words also using different ways. Okay, so let's not waste any time. Let's get started. We are covering word formation and derivatives today. All right, so let's understand what is this etymology framework, what is the anatomy of a word. So most of the words in English language have three primary building blocks. You have something called a root, which is the core value. You have a prefix, which gives you the meaning or the direction. And you have the suffix, which tells you what part of speech that word could be, right? So for example, prefixes could be words like in, which is no, bene, which is good, mal, which is bad. So they give you context, direction, and intensity. Okay, for example, hyper and hypo. Hyper is very high, hypo is low, right? Super and sub. Super is above, sub is under, right? Then you have the root words which holds the central meaning. So for example, fact in the word benefactor, fact means to make or do. And then of course you have the suffixes which shift the grammatical category without changing the core concept. So a word can be a noun, adjective, adverb by simply changing the suffix, right? So that these are your three different word building blocks. Okay. All right. So for example, what's a prefix? A prefix is a letter added in front of a base word to change the meaning of a word. For example, which means again. So when you rewrite something, you're writing it again. Irregular. Ir means no. So irregular is not regular, right? Unhappy, un again means no. So therefore, if you're happy and then you're unhappy, you are not happy. Pre means before. So therefore, preschool is something that happens before school. Impolite is, im means no. So impolite is not polite. Illegal is not legal. So ill means no, again, no or not, same. Decode. So when you code something, you decode something means to not code it. Open it up. Disagree. Again, agree is to approve. Disagree is to not approve. So again, this means no or not. So take a look. What a lovely set of root words these are, isn't it? All right, let's take a look at a few high yield derivative transformations. So we should be able to understand how words shift across different parts of speech because IPMAT will test contextual appropriateness also. So for example, the root word ben, which means good or well. The noun form can be benefactor or benefit. The verb form is benefit. Adjective form is beneficial and adverb form is beneficially. The root word luck or lum, which means light, can exist in the noun form as lucidity, which is clarity, and luminosity, which is brightness. In the verb form, it can be illuminate, which is to light up. In the adjective form, it could be lucid, which is clear, and luminous, which is bright. And in the adverb form, it could be lucidity or luminously. Now, the root word cap or sept, which means to take or hold, can exist as capacity or perception, captivate or perceive in the verb form, in the adjective form as captivating or perceptive, and in the adverb form as perceptive. The root word dove, which comes from doubt, The noun forms are dubiety and doubt. The verb form is doubt, which means to have no faith. Adjective form is dubious. Someone is a very dubious person. And dubiously, he stole the house dubiously. So those are your words. Now, a lot of times there are word formation processes that you should understand. So, for example, affixation or prefixes and suffixes. So, when you add a prefix, you change the word class, right? When you change the suffix, you can also change the word class. So, for example, analyze in the verb form can become analysis in the noun form. Then it can also be inflectional by changing the tense or number without changing the class. For example, walk can become walked if you add the ed suffix. Then you can have shorter words from an existing word by removing an imagined affix or a prefix or a suffix. For example, editor can become edit, diagnosis can become diagnose. Then you could compound words also. So for example, you could take two distinct words and create a compound word. For example, brain and wash together becomes brainwashing. Counter and productive together become counterproductive, right? Then you can also have conversions, which is zero derivation. So you change a word's part of speech without altering the form. So for example, he gave a quick run, which is a noun, versus I run daily, which is the verb form. So these are different types of words that you would find, right? Now let's take a look at a few fillers and we'll try and see what correct derivative can be fit in here. So the CEO something stands on remote work alienated several senior employees who preferred flexibility. So the senior employees preferred flexibility. The CEO did not, right? So what word should I use? I will use inflexible. Flexible, not flexible stance on remote work made several senior employees very upset. So inflexible, that becomes the correct answer. The root word flex, of course, which means fluid. All right, her arguments in the court left no room for the prosecution to challenge the verdict. So the arguments were very strong, right? So now the root word that they have given is refute, which is to discuss or reject. So that means her arguments are not refutable, right? So what word can I use? I can use the word irrefutable, right? Irrefutable. The root word IR, the affix root or the prefix I should call it, says no. So irrefutable means not refutable. So that. The third one, the board criticized the manager for his some spending during a period of financial austerity. So what sort of spending was this which was criticized? So if it was a period of financial austerity, that means he spent unnecessarily, right? And the word that I'm looking for is prodigal. So the correct answer has to be unnecessary or excessive, right? So what word can I use for excessive here? Okay, somebody tell me what is the correct word that I am looking for. I'm looking for prodigious, which is excessive. Okay. So it's prodigious spending during a period of financial austerity. All right. Modern cryptographic tools depend heavily on the something of digital data transmission. So I'm looking for a noun word here from impenetrable. So what word should I use? Come on, guys. On the impenetrability, right, of digital data transmissions, that they're impenetrable, right? You cannot break it. So that's the one that I'm looking at. All right, his speech was marked by an uncomfortable level of something that made the audience doubt his sincerity. So what is he? His speech is what? Very pompous, right? That is why the audience is doubting his sincerity. So what word can I use from grand? I can use grandiloquent, right? So grandiloquence, because I need a noun here. So I will say grandiloquence, which is to speak in a very pompous manner, right? So grandiloquence. All right. Now let us take a look at some more questions where we are trying to identify the meanings of these words, right? Of the root words. So take a look. The candidate's garrulous nature during the interview proved counterproductive. The root word gar relates to. So the word garrulous means somebody who talks a lot, right? So therefore, gar would be excessive talking. Garrulous is somebody who talks a lot, who's very verbose, right? Very talkative. So I'm looking at excessive talking. All right, let's look at the next one. Select the word that shares the same root as incontrovertible. Okay, what is incontrovertible? Vert or verse means to turn. So subvert means to turn from one side. Vertigo is when you look at something and your head turns. Divergence is to turn onto another path. And therefore, the correct answer will be all of the above. Each one of these has the root word ver or vert, which means to turn. So therefore, answer will be D. All right. Which of these words is not derived from the Latin root fac, fic, or fact? Is it efficacious, facetious, factory, beneficent? Okay, I'm waiting for your answer. So the root word here, guys, is fact, which means to make or do. Okay. The one that does not fit here is the root word for facetious, which means rude. And this comes from face. Okay, facere. So this is the one that is not derived. So efficacious, factory, and beneficent, all of these mean to make or do, right? So these three words are the same root. Facetious comes from facere, which is somebody who's very rude. All right, the prefix an in the words like anachronism or analogy primarily indicates. What is anachronism? Okay. So the root word an or ana means no or not. Okay. So it is against or backwards. So when you are anachronistic, you are against time or you're not in the right time. Analogy is a comparison, right? So against or backward is the correct meaning of an, which means up, back, against, or again. Okay. So this is Anna. Okay. This is not Anne. Okay. So here the root word is Anna, which is against or backwards. What suffix transforms the verb coerce into a noun denoting the act or state of coercion? So the root word will be CIO. And when I add coercion, ION into this word, it becomes an act or state of coercing. When you force someone, right, that is what we call coercion, forcing someone. All right, let's take a look at the next set of words. Identify the incorrect usage. So some sentences have been given. We have to identify where is the incorrect usage. So take a minute and we will try and solve this question. Okay. All right. So let's look. The lucidity of his explanation helped everyone understand the complex theorem. Okay, looks good. Lucidity comes from the root word LUC or LUM, which means light. So it's so easy to understand. So this is a correct sentence. He spoke so lucidly that no further clarification was needed. So he spoke so clearly, right? So this is also okay. Same root, same root. Okay. His lucidness theory. No, his lucidity theory, na? Lucidity theory was widely accepted. The patient was remarkably lucid, clear-headed. So the correct answer or the part that has an error is part number C, and that's going to be your answer. All right, let's look at the next one. Where is the root word in or im used incorrectly? Invaluable, inflammable, incurable, impervious. So invaluable is something that is valuable, right? Inflammable is flammable, same thing. So here the root word actually does not do anything. Incurable is not curable. And impervious is something that's not pervious. So not penetrable, right? So inflammable is the only one where this root word is not used to show not. Okay, I've never understood why do they use the word inflammable if you can just say flammable and it means the same. But anyway, substitute the underlined phrase with a single derivative word. Oh, so this entire phrase. He showed a disposition to seek revenge or harm someone who had wronged him. So to seek revenge or harm someone who had wronged him. What is this? So vindictiveness is a desire for revenge, right? So that is a good choice. Vindication is pardon. So that won't work. Veracity is truthfulness. So that won't work. And vicissitude is good luck or fortune. So that also won't work. So the correct answer will be vindictiveness. Okay. All right. Which form completely corrects the sentence correctly? Completes the sentence correctly. Oh my God. The dash of the local currency led to runaway inflation across the nation. I'm looking for a noun, right? So depreciate is a verb, so that won't work. Depreciated is a past verb, so that also won't work. Depreciation will work. Depreciative is an adjective, so that won't work. So the only one that will work is option number C, depreciation. Depreciation means reduction in value. All right, let's take a look. The team displayed an exceptional level of resilience during the crisis. What am I looking at? Which word is used incorrectly? So the team displayed an exceptional level of resilience. Again, I need a noun here, right? Not an adjective. Resilient is an adjective. I don't want that. I want noun. So resilience, and that's what I need, right? Resilience is the ability to strength. Okay. All right. Let's look at the next set of questions. Excuse me. So select the best option, fill in the blank with appropriate derivative of the word in the brackets. The politician's equivocate answer to the journalist's direct question made it obvious that he was trying to hide the truth. So what sort of answer? This has to be an adjective, right? So equivocal, equivocatingly, equivocation, equivocator. Of course, the correct answer will be equivocal, right? This is the adjective. Equivocal means taking two sides. So it's a very unclear answer. Okay. Equi means equal and vocal is voice. The researchers' findings were so solid that they were impossible to dispute or disprove. So they were so strong that you could not change them. So they were incontrovertible, right? That will be the correct answer. Incontrovertible, something that cannot be turned. Remember, word is turned, right? Incontrovertible is not turnable. So that's your answer. Extravagant is very lavish. So that doesn't work. Unprecedented is never before, never happened before. And irreverent is not respectful, not revering. So the correct answer, incontrovertible. All right. Which of the following words use the prefix dis in a way that alters the base word to remove to mean removal or reversal rather than not? Okay. So I'm looking for a word where I'm using dis as reversal. Okay. So when something is dissimilar, it is not similar. Okay. Let's understand. When I disarm someone, I take away, I remove weapons. When I arm someone, I give them weapons. Right? Okay. Disloyal is not loyal. And dishonest is not honest. So now in dissimilar, disloyal and dishonest, we have used not. The only word where we have used removal is disarm. So that is going to be your answer. Okay. All right, let's take a look at this one. Identify the part of speech that contains an error in derivative usage. So, her ability to adapt to hostile environments demonstrated her remarkable versatile. Okay, here I need a noun. And versatile, I know, is an adjective. Right? She is versatile. So, versatile is an adjective. So, give me a noun for versatile. It will be versatility. And that becomes my answer. Right? All right. Which option correctly maps the base root anim to its correspondingly noun form, meaning strong hostility or ill will? So animated is very passionate. So that won't work. Animosity is hatred or ill will. So that will be the correct answer. Unanimity is oneness. Everybody's together. Equanimity is calmness. So therefore the correct answer will be animosity, which is hatred, right? Strong hostility or ill will. All right, guys, that brings me to the end of today's session. I hope you found this session to be useful. If you think this will help you and we should do more sessions, of course, we are doing more sessions. Please remember to like our session, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed, hit the bell icon, and also share this session with a friend. And if you wish to enroll at Career Launcher, all you need to do is connect with us on 8130038836. And of course, remember to join us every Monday. Oh, let me just pick up a nicer color. So every Monday, same time, same place. With me, Abhilasha. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.